Okay, so we just did the chord version of Hey There Delilah by Plain White Tees. And you know, is it Plain White Tees? I don't know. Or is it the Plain White Tees? Should have checked this while I was okay, it is Plain White Tees, not the Plain White Tees. So we don't want to offend anyone in the band by calling them the wrong name. But anyway, so we did the chords, really simple. D, F sharp minor, B minor, G, A, and I think that's it. Pretty simple. So now we're going to look at getting it to sound a little bit more like the actual song with the picking pattern. So a little more advanced, but you can handle it. It's on guitar, so we are going to have to make a couple little changes, but nothing major. It just sounds a little bit funky, so you have to do sort of in like movies or books and stuff like that. You have to do a little bit of what's called suspension of disbelief. So where you just go, oh, I don't believe that. You just have to kind of go, okay, I'll believe it. That's fine. So the problem ends up being that some of the notes in between a couple of the chords are lower than what we can get on ukulele. And to make it work on ukulele, we end up having to play all of the chords way up high. So, I mean, that's not like going to be any fun. So playing like way up here, plink, 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 to then get, you know, like a, what do I need? Like a low A. Well, I guess there. That open string is the lowest A that we can get on a ukulele. So that's the issue, you know. That's actually the highest pitch string, the A, and it's the lowest A that we can get on a ukulele. So do you see what I'm saying? We're going to have to play everything way up high to get that low, to get that A to actually be lower. But anyway, so we're just going to kind of go with it. So the beginning, nice and easy. In all of this, we're going to just stick on these three strings. We're not going to use the G string at all because what we have here is a ukulele tuned with a high G. You can get one or just get another string and retune it so that the G ends up being lower and then it's a low G. But with the high G, it's called re-entrant tuning. But all it needs is just that we have a high G on the ukulele. And that's really part of the sound of the ukulele. So you play a G chord, those two notes are the exact same pitch. You don't have a lower G, you have the same two Gs. Okay, and that's just part of the sound of ukulele. So anyway, we're gonna just, like I said, just go with it. So the D, we're just going to play on those three strings, not on the G string. So, and what I'm going to do for this whole thing is I'm going to pick my thumb on the C string and two fingers on the E and A strings. Okay? So then the D chord, when I hold it with my fretting hand and then picking, it ends up being, and I'm going to pick 1 with my thumb, and then and with my fingers, 2 with my thumb, and with my fingers, 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that's what we end up playing. So the D at the very beginning of the song is just going to be, okay? So try that a couple times. Kind of get the hang of it. So really your right hand is just going to be kind of the timekeeper for this whole song, as it usually should be anyway, strumming or whatever. Even playing single notes and things, you're playing it in time, so you should be good with that, you should be practicing with the metronome. So the D, okay, and then to the F sharp minor, so it's going to be D, F sharp minor, and that's the intro. Okay, so then the verse, the first line of the verse, the first 4 chords is just that intro again. Then we have the B minor, which is going to be barred across the 2nd fret. Okay, and here is where there's a slight change. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and then the 4. You know what? We could play both of those strings. I just had it as an A because in the song it's just an A. So in the song it would be to the G, which is the next chord. But I think with both of those, it still sounds okay, and it now gives it a little bit of a lower. It sounds like we are actually going to a lower note, even though the A is exactly the same pitch. With the E, it makes it sound lower. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So, just so that I don't forget to throw that in. Okay, so the B minor is now going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We don't play, we just let that last for the full beat, 4 and. Then G, A, B minor, A. Okay, so that's the verse. So now I'm going to play through the verse stuff one time. In this verse, you play through it twice. So D, so F sharp minor, D, F sharp minor, B minor, G, A, B minor, A. Then back to the beginning, D, and run through the whole thing again. Excuse me. Okay, then the chorus is now D to B minor, just back and forth. So it's just D, B minor, D. Okay, but there is a note in between, okay, and it's the 1st fret on the C string. So that's a C sharp. So D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, we could do that, but we'll just do the single note. So D, so that's just D, B minor, D, B minor. So it really would have been nicer if we could have the D and the B minor sound a little more separate with higher and lower notes. But with the ukulele, the D and then the B minor, there's only that one note difference. Instead of the A string all by itself, for the D, it's the B on the 2nd fret of the A string, and that's the only difference. So the B minor, and you know, unless you do that, but then we have doubled notes anyway, so it doesn't really help. So D, it doesn't sound great, but it works. And if you're playing along to the song, you're playing along to the song, so you can hear the other notes kind of filling everything in. And if you're going to sing, then while you're playing it, you really, you'll notice it even less because now you're singing. So you're covering up all of that stuff. You know, like I've done in the past, what I've talked about, sort of the limitations of ukulele. Although I do like the limitations. It's kind of neat to have to work in a small area, a small number of notes. But so with the limitations of the ukulele, singing over it, it's all the right notes. We're playing all the correct notes. It's just it would sound more, I almost said it would have been nicer, which isn't true because I like the ukulele version of it that I came up with. But to sound more like the song, we do need lower and higher notes than what we can get on a ukulele. But nonetheless, remember, we're just going with it and just believing that it sounds great, which it does. It should. Okay, so then we have the verse, which is the same. Then we have the chorus, which is the same, without the added D at the end. And by the way, on the first chorus, the added D at the end, it does do that note, and then goes into the verse, which is D. So it does do that at the end of the chorus, that little first fret on the C string note. So then the verse is the same, and then we do the chorus without the added D, and it goes to the G for the bridge. A, then D, and then B minor, so that first fret on the C to the B minor. Then the two strings from the B minor to go to the G. Okay, so you just have to remember which little added thing gets in between which little added, which chords. Okay, so D, so the bridge, G. G again, A, B minor, B minor, A, and then we have the verse. It only runs through it once, and it does do that little between the B minor and the G in the second line of the verse. And then the G, A, B minor thing, G, A, B minor thing, A. Then the final chorus, D. Sorry, final chorus. And then when it gets to the D at the end, so it's B minor, D, D, with that little kind of slow strum thing. And that's the whole song. So as far as the chorus, I just sort of thought a good way to play this is with your second and third fingers for the D. Then your first finger can play that one single note on the first fret of the C string, and then slide up to bar the second fret for the B minor, and then back down for the first fret, and then second and third fingers for the D. Okay, so you end up playing it like this. And I think that's a little bit easier just to maneuver your fingers around these chords and single note and things like that. So that's it. Hey There Delilah by Plain White T's. Very cool song. Hope you enjoyed that one.